Yeah, you know the vacation trip is a little weird when you stumble on something like this.
Elites are coming to this ceremony every year.
As of course, you might not be old enough for the child sacrifice. Darn it, as our elites are really up to some weird stuff, to say the least here. As of course, we just got new bombshell documents, not regarding the Epstein stuff, regarding a new, different type of secret society that also does mock child sacrifices. Wait, what? That, of course, being the Bohemian Grove, a place that Richard Nixon had very colorful language for, as some of the world's most powerful people meet in secret, get naked, and ship in workers of the night, predominantly males, in an all-males campout of some of the most powerful people in the world. And yes, there's Molech. We're going to talk about that as we have some brand new information finally being revealed about this secret society. All of this is, of course, happening as we keep getting more photos, more evidence, some of it already being deleted once again, which is just wild and crazy. We'll get into that. The Rothschilds investigating, get it? The Rothschilds? Wait, what's going on here? As well as multiple times that Hillary Clinton was just caught lying officially on the record about Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump should and needs to arrest her. He promised to do it a couple years ago. Kind of a sore topic now, as we have John Kiriakou arguing that this could topple governments. We'll get into that and a lot more all here on this independent media broadcast. If you appreciate our efforts talking about this story as long and as extensively as we have for over 15 plus years, even the Bohemian Grove we were talking about like 20 years ago. If you appreciate that, subscribe. I've been in this business for 21 years, and we greatly appreciate all the subscribers, all the support we have gotten from you guys. As, of course, we have Autism Capital reporting new. Babe, wake up! New Illuminati list just dropped. The New York Post published a list of attendees of the infamous Bohemian Grove retreat, which includes Conan O'Brien, Michael Bloomberg, Eric Schmidt, that guy's everywhere. He's like doing all the secret societies. Paul Pelosi, no surprise there. Jimmy Buffett, Charles Koch, Henry Kissinger, Clint Eastwood, Clarence Thomas. The full list was originally leaked by Dan Boguslav on his Substack, and then published by the San Francisco Standard before the story was picked up by the New York Post. The link to the original list will be in the reply to this post here. As of course, you go to Dan Boguslav Substack. He says, "Weaving spiders, please come here." As of course, "Weaving spiders do not come here" is a slogan outside of the Bohemian Grove. He released the video, did a really good job with the video. We're going to play some clips from the video, especially his kind of larger connections to a lot of the elites and them starting wars and profiting off of wars and creating policies directly linked to the Bohemian Grove. As of course, one of the things that people fail to understand is this is where the like manifestation of the nuclear bomb allegedly was created. Tucker Carlson thinks it was created by aliens. Anyway, before getting into that, this is the New York Post article. Inside the Bohemian Grove's alleged members list as elites frats shadow roster exposed in new searchable database. I mean, this year, 2026, what an amazing year when it comes to just the unraveling of some of the most sickest, most sinister elements of our society. I am absolutely incredibly happy that we're getting so much, and we're very lucky, and we're also very much in danger. As the elites are like, look at what we're doing. We're rubbing it in your face. We're getting away with it here. As of course, some people stepped down. The head of Goldman Sachs stepped down. The head of Harvard stepped down. Some of the top most prestigious, previously respected institutions are all into the scientific community, the medical community, the longevity community, the health community. All of these people Epstein had, as well as Les Wexner, as well as all the foreign and domestic intelligence agencies had their tentacles in. What a surprise. New York Post writes, an alleged top secret roster of the elite Northern California fraternity Bohemian Grove. It's a secret society, right? One where there's like open mock child sacrifices, devil worship to entities like Moloch, satanic rituals, and like male workers of the night are shipped in. And then people hang out like naked. Yeah. Okay. Alex Jones was originally known. There were some other like smaller people that were exposing it. Alex Jones was really the man that kind of snuck in there, filmed it secretly, and exposed it to the world. And everyone's like, what do you mean elites go to the woods naked and worship Moloch and do mock child sacrifices? What do you mean? What are you talking about? You're crazy. He's like, look, there's video. And then there's video like, ha, 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 ha. And it's like all their ceremonies as all these people are like dressed in robes. And I'm like, wow, we're ruled by devil worshippers. And now we got a roster. I mean, and again, it's a secret society because people who go there can't speak out about it. I confronted Bill Richardson, who later I found out very much connected to Epstein and Zorro Ranch. I confronted Bill Richardson to the point where the guy was just sweating like a pig multiple times. I'm going to try to find this video because it is just a banger. Again, multiple videos where type in WeAreChange. This is 13 plus years ago, and it is just...
Yes, sir. First question?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You gave a keynote speech at the Bohemian Grove Club, sir. A club which openly has mock child sacrifices and satanic worship, sir. Can you answer my question, sir, please?
I was very pleased. I was very pleased with my performance in the debate. It was a good debate.
What about the Bohemian Grove Club, though, sir? That's very
was-
important. They do mock human sacrifices there, sir, and you reported being there.
I was very
And it continues on.
pleased with my performance in the debate.
This was after a presidential debate.
Sir, why did you ignore my question, sir? Can we have
gonna
open
ignore your
dialogue? If you want to be president, let's have an open dialogue about this. You just ignored me, sir.
It's
not nice. It's not.
It's running up a storm about that Bohemian Grove over there. Human sacrifices and male prostitutes shipped in there yearly. I sure like to know what goes on over there.
That's respectable stuff.
I know, isn't it? It's disgusting.
The other journalists were getting mad at us.
What you're doing is not respectable.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about what the governor does over there yearly at Bohemian Grove.
This is about the debate. This is not an open news conference.
Right. Well, with the governor, there's never an open news conference. He talks about AIDS and health care and the same stuff over and over.
Governor, Bohemian Grove, actually. You said before that you did you or did you
Shouts out, Matt. Old school WeAreChanger.
not attend Bohemian Grove in San Francisco? You've been ignoring this question for 3.5 years, Governor.
Yeah, important question. And then there's another incident where I got him again. I got Newt Gingrich on this multiple times here. Now, the New York Times. A roster purporting to show... Before getting into that, okay, there's still more to get into. I got so much more to talk about, especially when it comes to the Epstein stuff. Before getting into that and a lot more, we just quickly wanted to remind you, check out WeAreChange.shop. We just put up the magnesium mist. It's really great. I had I actually did 3 rounds, 3 minutes each of boxing. I'm exhausted. I'm going to be super sore. And that's why I'm going to, at my last meal today, I'm going to have my magnesium glycinate. And we only have like a few bottles of these left. We only have 23 bottles left. We're going to be, I'm going to be, once it sells out, it just sells out. I'm going to be using the magnesium mist on my hooves, on my feet, right before I go to sleep. I might even do a magnesium foot bath, but I need the magnesium because I've never done 3-minute 3 boxing rounds, right? And I'm still just getting back into shape. I just did that just a couple of minutes ago. I'm going to need the ashwagandha. I'm going to need my magnesium glycinate. So I'm going to take some magnesium glycinate, make sure my body can rest and recover. My sleep score, again, I've been like studying this like a science. I was just talking to my trainer about sleep science. I study this like an autistic nerd that I am. Look at that, 99 sleep score. You know why? Because I supplement. And then I also do other things like wear blue blockers. I make sure I wind down. I make sure I sleep in a cold room. I have, I call them eye condoms, all right? The eye things. I put the eye things on. I make sure to relax. I make sure to decompress. I make sure not to have my mind on anything so it's racing. Sometimes I put on a show and it's just like, okay, I'm going to wind down, relax. And 99 sleep score. 99. Yesterday, 98. Day before that, 99 again. Now, when you do like a lot of like crazy cardio exercises, your sleep score goes down. I'm going to do my best to prevent that. I'm going to tell you my sleep score tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. Because I just gave it all, my all. Like, I'm exhausted. Magnesium glycinate, magnesium mist. I'm going to put the magnesium mist on my hooves. I'm going to take magnesium glycinate with my last meal today. I might even take some ashwagandha just to preemptively get a good night's sleep after giving it my all. Like 3 rounds don't sound like anything. But for a guy who's like 40, like me, it's a lot. Like man, I could barely string along sentences, but I am. Anyway, if you like what we do, you want to support us, WeAreChange.shop, support yourself. Now, why did Bill Richardson, the guy who helped Jeffrey Epstein set up his Zora Ranch, get so nervous about talking about the Bohemian Grove? Richard Nixon, who Roger Stone and Tucker Carlson argue was set up and kicked out because he was trying to do the right thing, trying to expose allegedly what was really going on with JFK, right? He says this about the Bohemian Grove. But it's not just the ratty part of town. The upper class in San Francisco is that way. The Bohemian Grove, which I attended from time to time, is the most effity. You see what this word means? Can't say it on YouTube. Gosh darn thing you could ever imagine. With that San Francisco crowd, I can't shake hands with anybody from San Francisco. That's Richard Nixon. Okay, that's what he was saying about this. We have another one here from the New York Post. Super secretive Bohemian Grove Society members allegedly leaked as who's of celebrities elites revealed here. Conan O'Brien, what the hell are you doing there? You get crazy? You get buck wild? Mayor Bloomberg, what'd you do? Eric Schmidt, what'd you do? And these are just some of the very powerful people that go to this elitist type of place where there was even a lawsuit from the workers there as they're like, yeah, these guys are cheating us out of money. Who would have thought world elites cheating the regular plebs out of money? You can't even pay. Jimmy Buffett was there, Bloomberg, Justice Clarence Thomas. Now, this is interesting. Edwin Meese, a former U.S. Attorney General. Bobby Ingham, retired 4-star general, director of the National Security Agency. Carlos Bett. All these judges, all these like judicious people. This is probably why we're not getting any type of arrests from the Epstein list, because all of these people probably also connected with the Epstein stuff. Charles Koch, the Fisher brothers, Michael Bloomberg, Eric Schmidt, Brooke Bayers, Tim Draper, David Ashcroft, and the list goes on and on. As right now we have More Perfect Union doing a video about this, and this is their kind of connections that they made towards the Iraq War and the Bohemian Grove.
U.S. invaded Iraq, driven by club members like George W. Bush, Dick Cheney, Donald Rumsfeld, and Colin Powell.
Bush is connected to the Peter Nygaard and the Vampire type of scientific weird experiments that they're doing. All of these people lied to us. All of them also a part of the Project for a New American Century.
Bechtel got paid millions to clean up the mess. Since so much of this was planned at the Grove, we had to see the place, where the slogan is supposedly "Weaving spiders come not here," which implies they aren't supposed to be doing business there. So
then they also like flew a drone and they reported like, hey, it's weird. Our drone can't fly there. There's like anti-drone tech there. There's a lot of people who infiltrated. Alex Jones was the first one. Other people did it as well. There's just like weird like stuff there.
What exactly are they doing up there? So we drove over.
No trespassing violators will be prosecuted.
And it was just interesting. They spoke to an employee there. There's employees suing them because they got cheated out of their wages. And then they like connect the dots here to all these like very powerful people and all of these kind of investments and big business deals where it just so happens that all of the attendees just magically got business deals from people inside of the administration that attend there. Look at the coincidences. Check it out. It's a good video. More Perfect Union. I just subscribed to them. I didn't know they existed, but they do some good stuff here.
Behind this door, through this gate, and under these trees,
The drone wasn't able to fly where we wanted it to go.
It keeps dropping signal.
There is a real and actual secret society, a group of the most powerful, wealthy men in the world going back over a century.
And there's many of these secret societies. There's the Council on Foreign Relations, there's the Trilateral Commission, there's the Bilderberg Group, there's the Bohemian Grove Group, right? And it's all like interconnected with the same type of individuals and people. I would not be surprised if Jeffrey Epstein was going to the Bohemian Grove because it seems like his thing to do. Would we ever know unless it gets leaked? Yeah. And this is also the place where it was the brainchild of allegedly the nuclear weapons program that first began at the Bohemian Grove. As we have Brave AI talking about Bohemian Grove is a private all-male retreat in California, known for its 2 weeks annual encampment. It's usually at the end of July. And rumored connections to powerful political and corporate figures. While the club's official motto, weaving spiders come not weave, it prohibits business discussions. Yeah, right. Historical evidence confirms that the key planning for the Manhattan Project, the U.S. effort to develop the atomic bomb, took place at the Grove in September of 1942, so long-standing. Women, by the way, also have their own version of the Bohemian Grove. That's a women's-only camp filled with some of the most powerful people in the world, including Sotomayor. It was exposed that she was a part of that secret society. And there's the woman version. Of course, women aren't allowed here. You would think the government would be like, hey, you can't discriminate. Well, you can if you're a part of a secret society. Ernest Lawrence, a leading nuclear physicist, hosted a meeting at the Grove that brought together members of the S1 Executive Committee, military representatives, and industry leaders. J. Robert Oppenheimer attended as a guest. That wasn't in that documentary, the movie series that they released for some strange reason. I wonder why. Though he was not yet formally a committee member, the discussion at this gathering contributed significantly to the early development of the nuclear weapon. Despite the secrecy, the Bohemian Grove itself takes pride in this event, often recounting it to new members. The meeting is cited as one of the many instances where elite networks of the Grove facilitated high-stakes government and scientific collaboration. Sounds like Jeffrey Epstein stuff. While conspiracy theories allege occult rituals, human sacrifice, and secret control over global events, no, come on. Who paid for this? All right, this is some bullcrap right here. All right, they literally are like, here's the mock child. We're lighting it on fire. They're like chanting in rubs. I was like, oh, no credible evidence. What are you talking about? Extramagazine.com. The Bohemian Grove, sadism, rent boys, and gay you know what. Oh boy. Former American President Richard, we already said that. Bohemian Grove is up. Yep. There's been a lot of speculation about what goes on. Again, we don't really know what really kind of happens there. But like if you're shipping in male workers of the night here, and you have politicians that helped facilitate Zorro Ranch for Jeffrey Epstein attending, you're telling me there's no awful, weird, crazy, sinister, illegal stuff happening there? Get out of here! Because of course now we're left to again interpret, because a lot of this is still in secrecy. Now, luckily, a lot of this gets leaked. And as we're seeing with the Epstein stuff still is just getting wilder and wilder. We've got so much to talk about. Right? We're going to talk about that as well, because Epstein was a part of the Trilateral Commission and represented the Rockefellers. Also, with this kind of merger of the corporate and the state that meets behind closed doors in secret to discuss things that benefit all of them. They set up tax policy, they set up the government contracts, they set up the initiatives, they set up the policies, they set up the protection agreements, all of them at these type of secret societies. What else do you think heads of government and intelligence agencies are doing when they're meeting with like the head of Google, right? The head of Alphabet, right? The head of the intelligence agencies. Do you think they're not collaborating? You think they're not working together? You think there's no kind of I scratch your back, you scratch my back conversations with these people? Of course there is. Just like there was with Epstein. Now, there's a woman being redacted here. But here you see Les Wexner, Jeffrey Epstein, Mandelson, Brunel, Jean-Luc Brunel, all hanging out, talking to each other, being all friendly. Here's Howard Lutnick, chilling on Epstein's island. Clint Russell responded here. He said he was only there for an hour to have lunch with his family. Please ignore the fact that his wife and kids are nowhere to be seen. They aren't having lunch. And I'm pretty sure the blue and white cube building is just to the left of this photo. Oh, and he lied about it all again. As it looks like right now the DOJ removed this photo after publishing it. Huh. As people are saying, you could only get it on jmail.world. Why are they doing this? Like, I just don't understand why they're so awful and bad at this stuff. Like, is someone just trying to deliberately sabotage like Donald Trump? Because like there's no other way, right? There's no other way to really understand everything that's kind of happening right now other than, yeah, we're just trying to make Trump look as bad as possible. Or maybe Trump's like, ah, screw it, I want to leave. I just want to fall on this sword for all these people that tried to destroy me before. As the Daily Mail writes, knives out for Epstein-linked Howard Lutnick in shouting fits and gag orders. President Donald Trump's longtime friend and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is under fire after a scattering report detailing his bellicose and at a time insular approach with his colleagues. Lutnick, 64, the former CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald's and Hillary Clinton fundraiser, was torched by curious lawmakers on Capitol Hill about why he visited Epstein's island in 2012 with his wife and kids. The trip only came to light after one of the Department of Justice's latest Epstein document dumps, and it directly contradicts Lutnick's past comments about cutting off his ties with the financier years before. They were also in business together. They were neighbors together. And I think it was Les Wexner that bought the two homes for Epstein and Lutnick. There's also very interesting files around 9/11 missing with the Epstein release, which some people say could be related to the insider trading that has happened, predicting 9/11 would happen. That wasn't investigated. Yeah, if you don't know about this, there was record amounts of extremely suspicious, weird put options put on the stock market right before 9/11 that allowed people to tremendously profit off of 9/11. You would think the DOJ would start looking into this and investigating this. They haven't. We haven't found the person who did it. But we do know that the 9/11 files before, after, and during 9/11 from the Epstein release are all missing. Wonder why? Huh. I wonder why. Huh. And I pray this stuff gets released. I pray there's someone with a soul at the DOJ that just like does the right thing. And I mean, there's so much sinister bad people out there. And if you allow bad people to do bad stuff, they're going to do it again. As Alex Jones has called for Lutnick to resign, a lot of other people on the left, on the right, are calling him to resign here, as some people are talking about his weird behavior at the West Wing. Quote, when you're in a meeting with him, if he disagrees with you, if he disagrees with what you're saying, or if you are trying to offer even diplomatically an alternative view, he just completely shouts over you, one Trump administration official told Politico. Another official commented on Lutnick's productivity to keep information tightly guarded and centralized, keeping top aides under gag orders. No one's allowed to talk to the interagency without Howard giving explicit approval. The admin officials told the outlet. Even when his staff show up to meetings at the White House, they're under a gag order, and they literally just say, hi, I don't have a position from the secretary on this, so Commerce has no position at this time. Some who have worked with the Commerce Secretary shared that he does not leave the room for dissenting views, and several sources noted the department's higher than usual turnover, with some staff hinting at issues with the work culture. Now, another person being heavily kind of looked into is the Rothschilds. If you remember, Les Wexner during his deposition was like, oh yeah, Epstein was introduced to me in the 80s by the Rothschilds. Okay. Why? How? Give us more information, please. And the lawyer tunes in. I'm going to effing kill you if you answer more than 5 words a question. And like, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, ha, 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 ha. And they were laughing. And then Wesker puts up the worst acting job ever, like, whoa, he stole billions of dollars? Get out of here. Get out of here. You guys micromanage everything. You guys are super cheap. And you're telling me you accidentally had $1 billion disappear? Get out of here. As now, Ariana the Rothschild is under scrutiny here, as she is now under investigation for her connections with Epstein. Will anything happen? Probably not, but it's something. This is the reporting. Don't leave me over Epstein links. Baroness the Rothschilds urges bank clients. Banker insists connection with disgraced financer. Do not undermine her integrity. I think they do. Jeffrey Epstein's business ties with banker Ariana D. Rothschild revealed the latest releases of the Epstein files by the Department of Justice have confirmed the extremely close relationship between the French-German head of the Imond de Rothschild's group and the predator. From 2013 until the death in 2019, he'd acted as an unofficial advisor to the Switzerland-based bank. Interesting here. Sayer G says, the fallout continues. The Telegraph reports that Baroness Ariana de Rothschild is urging clients not to abandon the Edmund de Rothschild's group over the Epstein connections, insisting he was a business acquaintance. Yeah, we were just doing business with the guy running drugs, guns, and children and people and trafficking them. Yeah, he was just the guy part of Iran-Contra. Yeah, when the CIA was running drugs and guns. Yeah, he was just doing that. And talking about torturing people and seeding the world with his DNA and working on superhuman genetic gene-altering type of experiments. Yeah, he's a normal guy. It's his business. We're just making a little bit of the moolah there, baby. Yeah. Get the out of here. Now, what the article doesn't mention is the $25 million fee. The DOJ settlement, Kathy Rumler, connected to Obama's legal staff at the time, the formal contract, the charter flights to Geneva, all in the federal exhibit record, all reported in my February 18th report. Epstein's $25 million email. This is from Sayer G's Substack. Kathy Rumler, Ariana the Rothschilds, and the Edmund D. Rothschild DOJ settlement, a document-by-document analysis by federal exhibit here. I like Sayer G. I met him a couple times. He's pretty cool. And then he kind of went into great detail about what was going on here. Now, when it comes to this investigation, it's like, yeah, we're going to investigate ourselves. Oh, really? You are? Just like the DOJ. DOJ just came out. We're going to investigate ourselves. We're going to see if we withheld some document. They did. They withheld the documents. They withheld a lot. 2% of the data was released. There's still redacted documents talking about the co-conspirators. The DOJ said that they could allow members of Congress to see the unredacted files. Members of Congress go, and then they're still redacted. This is what Chuck Schumer had to say here.
The way Pam Bondi and the Justice Department have handled the release of the Epstein files has all the stench of a cover-up. Yesterday, news outlets reported that several memos detailing a woman's accusation against the president from when she was a minor have been withheld from the public. We know these exit memos exist. An index of all the investigative materials confirm their existence. And under law, the law we passed unanimously here in the Senate, they need to be made public.
Yes, and they're just going to arrest Trump and Pam Bondi as soon as they leave office, right? They have the perfect opportunity to do so now, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
Pam Bondi does not have the right to pick and choose which Epstein files to release to the public. Protecting the president from embarrassment is not her job. The American people were promised the truth, and Pam Bondi's job is to give Americans full access to the truth.
I'm sick of how the Democrats are running with this, since Epstein was highly connected to a lot of the Democrats and donating a lot to the Democrats and connected to all of Donald Trump's enemies as well, and was literally conspiring against Donald Trump. He was literally like talking to members of Congress that are Democrats. It's like, okay, this is how you smear Trump during like live hearings. Okay.
What else is the administration keeping behind a lock and key? Is this incompetence, or is it a full-blown cover-up? Pam Bondi owes the American people some answers. Remember, the law Congress passed had very specific criteria for withholding the Epstein files. Protect victims' identities, protect the integrity of an ongoing investigation, or avoid duplication. Protecting Donald Trump's image does not fit any of these buckets.
And that's what it looks like if they keep covering everything up. And that's exactly what they're kind of doing here, right? And I'm sorry, but the DOJ can't investigate the DOJ. We're not going to trust that. The Rothschilds can't investigate the Rothschilds. We're not going to trust that. Epstein, Tucker Carlson had some interesting comments recently about Epstein that I found fascinating. He was talking on the Megyn Kelly show just recently about this entire situation. I thought the comments here were very insightful, specifically detailing how Epstein was just a fall guy, right? He was just a middleman, right? There's bigger players, bigger people here at play. Like, the guy was kind of an idiot, right? But what was he doing? He was a great employee. Who is he an employee to?
As for Epstein, Epstein's an idiot. Okay, that's if you read the Epstein emails cold, what's the first thing you notice? The guy's illiterate. He's a badly educated guy from Staten Island. He can't spell and he can't really kind of articulate what he's saying. And his intelligence is purely feral. He's intelligent like a dog is intelligent when the dog reads your fear or hate or whatever. The dog can smell you.
He was clearly a pervy guy who's probably controlled too. Now, according to some of the victims, it was Epstein, Maxwell, Les Wexner, right? That was the kind of hierarchy here. That was the play here. And it kind of does make sense here, right? And some of the victims are saying, yeah, Maxwell was the bigger type of, like, really awful predatory person that was doing more to hurt people.
The dog can't, strictly speaking, understand you. That's Epstein's variety of intelligence, but he's hardly a genius. He's hardly like some evil, brilliant puppet master. He himself is a tool of what? Where did his money come from? No one has answered that question. How did he get all this money? Doing accounting services for Leon Black and Les Wexner? Come on now. I've got an accountant. I'm not paying him. Like, that's just stupid. So what is the answer?
No.
What was he being paid to do? He was an employee, not a boss. That's very obvious.
Yep. Now, who's his bosses? Probably still people in our political discourse that are still bossing around other people. That's the truth.
He was a connector, but he's acting on behalf of others. Who? And my concern, well, now my certainty, is that the wrong people will be punished as they always are. And I watched this with Harvey Weinstein. I worked for Harvey Weinstein, so I knew Harvey Weinstein was a pig. Obviously, he smoked in the elevator.
There was even inside jokes by a lot of people in the industry being like, yeah, don't work for Harvey Weinstein. Be careful. People were just openly saying that. And it was like, ha, 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 ha. It's so funny. Yeah, not really. The Family Guy creator was like, yeah, this guy's a huge predator out there. Allegedly, Brad Pitt was stopping women from getting hurt, allegedly, but still working with him. Okay.
The guy's a pig. He didn't care about other people.
But he was also connected to Epstein. So was Kevin Spacey. That had a lot of people who were accusing him of some various crimes die under mysterious circumstance 3 times.
Opinions or feelings. I knew that. I remember it really well. So I wasn't surprised when he went down. It's a good benchmark. But I also knew, having worked in television for like 30 years, that, you know, some of the worst people never went down. And some of the people who did go down were bad, but they weren't even in the same realm as the people who didn't go down. So there is a sense in which these stories, these witch hunts, are a cover for the truly guilty. And as someone who cares about justice, that drives me kind of insane. And it's like, right? We should be making an effort to get to the root of it. It would be the same as if we executed every drug dealer standing on the corner in Flatbush, but we never made any effort to find out where they got the fentanyl they were selling. You'd be like, you know, I'm not against executing drug dealers, I guess, but like, where are the suppliers?
Yeah, it's like, do you want to get the small level guys or do you want to get the big level guys? The DOJ and Trump are focused on the lower level guys. Now, this was interesting. A post here by Daniel Turner. I interviewed him a couple times. I like him. I think he does great stuff. He says, Barack Obama's White House counsel and his economic advisor resigned over Epstein. The guy who gave Obama the Nobel Peace Prize did too. I've yet read the piece, Obama's Inner Circle and Epstein, in any mainstream outlet. Guess those journalists don't want to go paddleboarding, a reference to Obama's cook that went paddleboarding and then passed away. Let me retweet that. Give some support to Daniel there. Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? As a lot of people look, I had a friend messaged me, look, Obama's clean. No, he's not. Not when you look up Operation Fast and Furious, that there's a chance that I think Epstein was involved. And now, of course, we have Clinton very closely tied into Obama. Hillary Clinton. I don't ever recall meeting Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein. Hillary Clinton is much prettier in person. Clinton was testifying, and then she refused to testify because someone took a photo of her. Then Benny Johnson posted it. Hillary Clinton. I have no recollection of ever meeting him. She's at Ghislaine Maxwell's is at your daughter's wedding. Look at this email. I know you are close with Hillary from blank to Jeffrey Epstein. But if she gets the nomination and you vote for her, I'll hurt you. Blank, blank, blank. I think I've converted Frog from a liberal, or maybe Bo did. Huh. Another email. 2012. Jeffrey Epstein was allowed to land on an Air Force base in the Ivory Coast due to Hillary Clinton's envoy being present at the local airport. Oh, yeah. Hillary Clinton. I don't know who he was. I don't know. Yeah, 2015. Epstein attended the Hillary Clinton fundraiser, described as very intimate, put on no one other by Howard Lutnick. People are saying perjury under oath warrants an arrest. I agree. Hillary's a big liar. Like, Hillary used to attack and shame victims who accused Bill Clinton of doing some Bill Clinton things. She, of course, came out. She was like, oh, and I never attacked or shamed
What
them.
role, if any, did you play in criticizing the character of the women who have accused Bill of sexual misconduct?
None. If somebody's willing to pay you $130,000 or $170,000 to say something, and you get your 15 minutes of fame, and you get your picture on the front page of every newspaper, and you're some failed cabaret singer who doesn't even have much of a resume to fall back on, and what's there she's lied about. You know, that's the daughter of Willie Horton, as far as I'm concerned.
What role?
Oh, boy. Now, shouts out to Thomas Massey. Some people are saying finding this out would collapse societies. This is the argument John Kiriakou is making. And I think that is something worth considering here.
I interviewed a member of the British Parliament a couple days ago for my own podcast, and he said, this is enough to bring down the British government.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, judgment. What kind of judgment do you people have? And look, Mandelson has always been a scumbag, right? Everybody knew he was a crook. He had been credibly accused of, embezzlement and extortion. He's just a crook. They're out there in politics. And so when word surfaced that he was close to Jeffrey Epstein, and he had already had to be removed as business minister and from another couple of senior positions in the British Labour Party, he swore to Keir Starmer, now the Prime Minister of the UK, he swore to him that he barely knew Epstein. They had met once or twice. There was nothing to these rumors. And then the emails are released, including the photo of him with a 16-year-old girl standing in his underwear. They're both looking at a laptop, so it's clear he does not realize he's being photographed. And then he had to admit that, okay, all right, you caught me. So he's resigned from the House of Lords. He's been thrown out of the Labour Party. But people aren't just angry at Mandelson. And also he was recalled as the British ambassador to the United States. He's no longer the ambassador. They're not angry just at Mandelson. They're angry at the Prime Minister. Because what kind of judgment do you have when everybody in the country knew this guy was a scumbag, but because he looked you in the eye and he smiled at you and said, oh, no, Prime Minister, it's not true. None of it's true. And then your reaction is, okay, I'm going to make you ambassador to the United States of America. What goes through their minds?
Yep. It's like, oh, yeah, this is an interconnected guy with dirt on him. Well, I'll put him into power. As, of course, a lot of people make the argument to get into any kind of position of power, you got to have some kind of dirt over you, or they force dirt over you. I know celebrities. I know powerful, like, big-time people that I've talked to privately off the record. And they're like, yeah, you want to be famous. Like, they literally, and celebrities talk about this too. Other people talked about this too. Like, yeah, they got to either have some kind of sacrifice from you, or you go in the back room with some dudes and they do some weird stuff to you on camera, and then they got compromising you. Like all those hip hop rappers, like, oh yeah, I'm a tough guy, bling bling, like pop a cap in your butt, and then they're like, all right, there, get back in the room. There's some baby oil, bunch of dudes. They're gonna do stuff to you on camera. Yes, sir. Get out of here with that nonsense. Anyway, that's how the entertainment industry runs. How do you think elite secret societies run and politicians run? Even worse than that. That's why they have the Bohemian Grove. But that's why we have magnesium glycinate to help us sleep at night. WeAreChange.shop. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/we